if the playing field is completely equal and all the opportunity is there for everyone, I'm simply asking you, why aren't we doing as well as our white counterparts?
Why aren't we doing as well as our white counterparts? Because white people haven't stood still. Black people come out of slavery at the end of the Civil War. White people were ahead. White people are ahead right now. The only way for black people to quote catch up is for white people to stand still. They're not standing still. Or are black people making progress? Hell yes. 1940, 87% of black people lived under the poverty line. 20 years later, 1960, that number had fallen to 47. That's a 40-point drop in 20 years. That is, by the way, the greatest 20-year period of economic expansion in the history of Black America. Now, why did that happen? Because it was rare in 1940 for a black kid to be raised without a father in the home, married to the mother. Only 17% of black kids fit that category. Today, it's almost 70% of black kids living in the world without a father in the home, married to the mother. That accounts for far more of the disparity than any kind of racial incident or racial analysis that you want to put forth.
Real simple. Mass incarceration. Now, Van's going to attempt to touch on this. Van's going to attempt to answer the question. But for those of us who are well aware, it is quite simple. From 1940 all the way up to about the 70s or so, we had a constant attack on our community from the criminal justice system. Everything from vagrancy laws that were left over to not being able to get a job, being forced to go out there and hustle on different types of ways, like drugs, pimping, all this other stuff in our community that just degraded the culture. Now, Van's going to attempt to touch on this, and Larry will never approach the subject. And this is the problem with black conservatives. They never want to talk about what the real root cause has always been, what we've seen growing up as children. I was born in 84. It was still a problem in the 90s. And in fact, you've had an escalation of mass incarceration from the 80s on up to now. So what is the excuse? It's not like we didn't see it back then. It's not like we didn't know we were getting arrested back then. And you can't just continuously say that we have 60 years of us just not wanting to do the right thing. That is absolutely not true. And if you're in our communities, you know this. You don't need to listen to a conservative talking head to give you an answer on this. All you got to do is go talk to your mama or your daddy or your uncle or your grandma, or because none of these conservative talking points they talk about.